Hey everyone, so for this week's Rockstar Minutes, I'm going to show you how to use Google Forms to pre-screen would-be tenants for your rental properties. So let's get right into it. So when you post your ad on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace or Zumper, any of these online marketplaces to advertise your property, people will see your ad, they like the house, they reach out, they ask you if it's still available. What I'll do is I send them this message. I say, yes, this home is still available. Before I show you this property in person, could you please fill out this short Google form to let us know a bit more about yourself? It will just take a minute to fill out. Here's the link to take you to the short Google form. There's the URL, and I say thanks, right? So I shoot them that message. They go, oh, okay, and they click this link, and then that takes them to this form that I've set up. Now here's the back end where you can add questions, and you can change what type of question, multiple choice, short answer. So I'll just scroll down and show you the kind of info that I'm getting from people. So I'm getting their names, their email, their phone number, where did you see this ad, so I can track my marketing efforts. What is your preferred move-in date? Why are you looking to move? Are you currently renting? What's your current address? How many adults will be living in the home? How many children will be living in the home? What is the relationship of everyone living? So you can change this to any questions that you'd like to know right up front. These are just the questions that I've chosen. So do you have any pets? What kind of pets? Are we talking Chihuahuas? Are we talking Great Danes here? How many vehicles do you own? Your credit situation, your income each month of everyone that will be contributing to the rent. Okay, that's definitely a big one. The profession of everyone. Has your employment been impacted by COVID-19? And at the bottom of the form, you can just put in whatever you like, but I have, thank you for taking the time to fill out this form. For shortlisted tenants, we'll contact you and arrange a physical walkthrough of the home with COVID-19 precautions in mind. If we do not contact you back, it means we have not selected you for this home. Thank you for your interest and understanding. And then you can sign off there. Okay, so this is the back end. I want to now show you, once you send somebody this form, and you can get to Google Forms, by the way, it's just like Docs or Sheets. You would just search Google Forms in Google, and it'll come up here as like a Docs URL, but you can sign in and then create your own forms, and it's very useful for getting responses for anything, not just filling your properties. Okay, but once somebody has filled out my form, I've done it twice to show you an example of how it will look. This is the actual URL of what it will look like, right? When somebody clicks this URL from the message I send them, it takes them to this. This is the front end, and this is where they put in their, email address. I have a random question there I got to delete, but my name. Right? So you start filling out all this stuff, your preferred move-in date, where did you see this ad, are you currently renting, your current address, how many adults, right? When they're done, it won't work because I haven't filled out everything and I've made all the questions required. But they'll hit submit, yeah, it won't go through, but they just submit it, the form submitted, it takes them about a minute to fill out. And then on your back end, you'll see how many people have actually clicked your form and filled it out and submitted their answers. So right now I've got 2 responses, right? So here's one email, here's the other one. So you can go through and see all the info. What this page is really nice for is the pie charts it gives you, because it's great for tracking things like your marketing. Like for example, one person came from Zumper, one came from Facebook Marketplace. I just filled a property in Barrie for an investor, and I used this Google Forms method to fill the property. And sorry, just make sure we're still filming. And there was like 150 responses, and about 80% of the people came from Facebook Marketplace. So I knew that that was the best online marketplace for me in South Barrie, was to post there, because that's where most of the response came from, right? So you can kind of see the demographics as well of the area and everyone who's responded. But the best part is, if you click here, this will actually open up all of your responses in a beautiful spreadsheet that you can edit and change and make the font bigger or mess around with. So it shows you the timestamp, so when your form was submitted, and it shows, so far 2 people have submitted this form, right? So here's my example one, and then I have the bad tenant example one, right? So you can pre-screen exactly who you want for your property. So you go through, you check in, their preferred move-in date, why they're looking to move. So this person's getting evicted, so you probably already have a good idea. You might not want to work with this person if they're already being evicted from a home. But you can see, so this guy doesn't have any kids, but he's living with his wife. Him and his wife will be moving in. They've got 2 vehicles. Their credit is excellent. The income is strong, and it depends on the house and the type of rent you're charging. You'll automatically be able to pre-screen people based on their income levels, because you'll know if they can reasonably afford the unit and to pay all their bills as well as their rent each month, just based on the house that you're renting out. And so you have all their responses beautifully laid out on the spreadsheet for you. So every night I'll just go into, when I'm filling a property, I'll just go into each online platform. So for example, Facebook, I'll shoot off my message to any new leads that have come in and inquired about my property. I shoot this off. And once I shoot off my message to everyone, I simply go to my sheet here and I just check all my responses and I see what I've got. So now that I've gone through this person, I know it's probably not the right fit for my property, just based on the information there. So what I can do is, I can strike through it. I can kind of gray it out. I can move it to the top here, right? So it's out of the way. So now this guy is my focus, right? So now I can highlight, my short list of people. You can do whatever you want to make it pretty and organized how you want to do it, right? You can hide this guy, hide row. So now you just have your short list of would-be tenants here. And now I can call Anthony and ask him, any further questions I might have, or I can set up a showing. And what you can even do, which is what I do, is I'll set up a couple extra columns here. And I'll have like phone calls, as well as showing date, right? So maybe I call Anthony once on Monday night and he doesn't pick up. I don't want to leave a voice message because I want to get him on the phone, start building that rapport, that connection to get him to my property physically so he can see it and get emotional and picture himself living there and eventually fill out a formal application at the property. So I want to get him on the phone. I don't want to just leave a message. So maybe I just call him once Monday night, he doesn't pick up. So then Tuesday night comes, I've already called him once, right? So then I'll call again. I'll make sure I track how many times I call, maybe it's 3 times. And so I leave a voicemail. So I'll just put voicemail there. But Anthony calls me back on Wednesday night and he's like, sorry about the delay. And I say, no problem. And the next time I'm going to be at the property is this Saturday at 12 p.m. And he's like, okay, great, I can make it there. So I'll just put Saturday at 12 p.m. So it's very, very, very simple to organize and to get all your responses in one place. It's just a beautiful process for pre-screening, because in the past, what you would have to do is ask for everybody's phone numbers. So instead of this message, you'd say like, yes, this home is still available. Could you please send me your phone number, right? That's the message you're sending out to everyone, right? You just copy, paste. And half the time you won't get a response back. And then if you're lucky, you'll get their phone number, you call them, and then it's just, you have to set up your own Excel sheet and then ask them each question individually and track it down. You could be doing 5 to 10 phone calls a night, 3 phone calls. Many more you might not get through. It's just very, very more labor intensive than this method. If someone's really serious about renting your property, they will take the time to fill this out. It only takes them a minute. And it's just a beautiful process for tracking your marketing and tracking the responses. And once you have got your short list, it's up to you how you want to do it. With COVID-19 right now, some people are just doing like virtual tours. So they'll just like call, let's say this guy, Anthony, they will call Anthony and they will say, hey, because of COVID-19, we're just doing virtual tours, and then they'll send them like a private YouTube video of them walking through the home and pointing out all the details and showing them all the rooms and stuff. And you can then send them a lease, or then you can send them a formal application, over email that they can fill out and send back to you and stuff. But what I was doing with this Barrie property was still showing the property, but I would just schedule everyone in 15-minute increments to keep it nice and safe. And I would just have everyone fill out a formal application at the house, collect a deposit, and then do my due diligence, my background checks on their income levels, on their credit, on their social media, whatever I need to do to kind of get a good idea of who these people are. And I would go from there, and then eventually found someone, and I sent them the lease over email and got it signed. So that's it. So if you want to do this for yourself, I will put a link to this exact sheet, a URL, so you can check it out and copy all the questions if you like. And I also have to shout out to Grane Aitken and Jason Cow, two Rockstar VIP Inner Circle members who actually came up with this method, or at least first showed me and a bunch of other Rockstar members by posting in the private Rockstar VIP Inner Circle Facebook group. They posted their entire method, and so I just totally copied what they were doing and kind of made it my own with my own questions and stuff that I wanted to know ahead of time. And so shout out to Grane, who also wrote a great article for the Rockstar Inner Circle in our monthly newsletter. So thank you, Grane, for showing me this, because this has saved me so much time. So that's about it. The URL will be in the description. Thanks.